We're live. I do apologize for my tardiness. I moved back onto the bus tonight, mostly for fun and because it is finally temperate enough to do so. But I couldn't get my strip lights to work. It just stopped working. So this is a little bit underlit. It will be a prevailing theme of this particular night. Oh my gosh, look who's here. But I do have a candle to light. Will help us see a little bit better. If I can not burn my hand off. Okay, we got it. The Mariner's Moon. Smells good. So, welcome to Skoolie Support, number 11. I got back from Gutted 48 hours ago, maybe. And wow, that was a whirlwind. I'd love to tell you guys about it. But first, I got to check in with the chat because I see most of my team is here. We got David is first. Hi, David. Welcome. Chuck Cassidy, my man. Thank you for being here. Going on a bear hunt family with your cool Gillig transit bus. Jealous. Bart Berg. Welcome. Thanks for being here. John M is so John M brings up a good point here. I can't talk about the winner of Gutted. I'm not even going to talk about who finished their rigs, if anybody did. But I'll talk about lots of other things. Just no spoilers. I'm holding those close to my heart. All right, Regretless, welcome. Thanks for being here, Alyssa. And now we're talking about, oh man, travels. Okay. Southern Rebel, welcome. Hope Bus, welcome. And let's get started. So basically, if you don't know what Gutted is, it is I would say it's mostly a TV show. Or maybe it's mostly an epic adventure that I was lucky enough to get to participate on. But it's a TV show about building a van, a bus, and an RV in 5 days. We had 3 teams of 7, and we had some professional builders, and we had some amateur builders, and we had a whole spectrum. We had some complete non-builders too. That was interesting. I'll let you see that in the TV show. I do have my Gutted Season 1 t-shirt on. The producers of the show were nice enough to give me this original relic. I think this is the original OG gangster Gutted shirt, because what I learned was that if you watch Gutted Season 1, you will see this happen in real life. It was basically like Burning Man at some point, where you essentially had to barter for food and water because they ran out of everything, and there was a dust storm, and I think there were some serious logistical issues. And for that reason, some rigs were not finished in Gutted Season 1, and the teams who were given approximately 16 hours a day were given were not able to work for that long because they had things to take care of, and so most of them spent like 11 or 12 hours a day on their rigs. And that was the expectation for us when we got to Gutted Season 2. But we were really well taken care of. We were in a nice campground. We were fed. We were catered nice meals. And for the most part, I mean, we were still very much bus lifers or RV dwellers or van lifers. But our needs were mostly taken care of. And so we ended up working 16 hours approximately every single day for 5 days. And if you do the math, that's about 560 man/woman hours on a rig. And there were 7 of us, which is sort of evidence that it really does take 600 plus hours to finish a bus. So for all you bus converters out there, my first bus, I think, took me 1,000 hours. My second bus took me 800. And this bus took us about 500 hours, epic hours. And you should just know that it's a task. So I had a huge, huge blast. Mostly being able to build with just the coolest team. We had Chuck and Ben from Chrome Yellow Corp. You guys probably know them well. Chuck Cassidy is the pro bus builder. I've always looked up to him. Back when I was building a bus, he's the guy I hit up to for help. And he's rocking in the chat right now because he probably we just all miss each other. We all miss each other, and I know that these guys just got back to Denver, so they've had a heck of a ride. Ben is a just a total bus god. Without even seeing him, he'll build the whole bus and make sure everything works perfectly. Me and Ben shacked up together in an RV, got to know each other well. Jay from Kelson J is a monster. He builds cabinets so fast. I've seen him build cabinets fast, but I've never seen it to this caliber. And in one day, I think it was day 4, Jay built an upper cabinet, a couch, a critical shelf, which hides a critical item, and installed a tile to floor transition, among a bunch of other things. Like, those are just the things that he just showed up with and was like, hey, install this. And everything just fit perfectly. It was masterful to watch. Alyssa and Kelsey made the nicest shower I've ever seen in a bus, and I've seen many bus showers. They did it in the midst of the gutted build off, and that was just really epic to see. They both spent 12 hours for 2 days approximately in that shower. And I've got pictures of it. If you look at my stories on the Gilligan Phantom Instagram, you can check it out. Devin summited. We say a couple things about Devin. He summited a mountain. We also think he lost a day of his life or a year of his life to this task that he undertook. And I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it's basically Pimp My Ride on speed. And Devin really worked hard. I'm not going to tell you if he pulled it off or not. You got to wait to see. And then there was me, being sort of like a support person, just doing the best that I could. And I had a blast, and it was just a huge honor to build with you guys. And I'm just going to check out the chat here because we're probably all cheesing on each other, because that's what we did for 5 days. There was just so much love. I really learned that. So, like, a lot of people talk about the Schooly community, and I didn't really know what it was until I built with a team of Schooly builders, and there was just an instant bond, and the care that we were providing each other with, and other members, just other Schooly builders out there at the Gutted Festival, was just so evident. Like, we just, when you build a bus, you just undertake this gargantuan task that's never easy. It's never the same. It's not replicable. It's just a big thing. And when you do it, you just want to take care of others. And that's a big part of why I make my YouTube videos and why I do this live stream, because I just want to be here to take care of people who are trying to do this, because I know how hard it is, especially to do it alone. So Chuck Cassidy is mentioning that Ben is a bus god. Ben is really a bus god. Jay is a psycho. I'm sure Ben would love to come to Canada. Seeking Truth asks, where did the builds take place? Season 1 was Alamosa, Colorado. Alamosa. And season 2 is in Smithville, Missouri. Much of the team, the gutted team, is from or lives in Kansas. And I'd love to talk about them for a second. I had no idea going into this that this was such a bootstrapped TV show. In my opinion, they did it with a very small budget. Season 1, I thought, was incredible. They had a little bit more money for season 2, but not a lot. And they do it all with no advertisers. There were 3 brand integrations, which I thought were really interesting, really powerful. It was cool to be part of them. But you can watch this ad-free right now. I'm going to get the link for you. This is going to be my first link. I'm going to drop a lot of links here. You can watch this ad-free at this app called Blank Space. So download Blank Space app, and you can also find it on your computer right here at this link, guttedevent.com. So boom, guttedevent.com. So I can't believe you can watch this for free. This is so cool. And every single every single producer and even actor, every person involved was wearing like 10 hats. And at the end of us destroying the set over the course of 5 days and just leaving paint splattered everywhere and plywood and metal just piled everywhere, they all cleaned it up. There was nobody else, and I was just so amazed and proud of the team that put this together. And it's honestly, it's really inspired me. On top of that, we had these camera crew and sound crew that were just so entrenched in the battle that we were undertaking. They were just a part of the team. I think we were all inspired by them. They had to work long hours. They didn't get to take breaks. Like if I wanted to, I could disappear. My team would understand. If I needed a moment, I could, but they can't. They just got to keep going. And yep, Joey Devante and Tyler were our crew, and we took photos with them. I'm gonna find them at some point. All right, so I got Chuck Cassidy blowing up the chat. He says, hit the like button. Feel free to hit the like button. Jay is a beast. Let's see if I got any questions. Okay, this is important. This is really important to me. I know there's only 19 of you are here right now, but if you're watching this in the future, this is really important to me. I don't ask for things like this often. There's a person, and he's here in the chat, and he was such a pivotal part of this team. He paid for VIP at Gutted, and then he proceeded to treat each of us bus team members like VIP. I was absolutely blown away by the effort that this man put into taking care of us. And his name is Bart Berg, and he's right here in the chat. And I would really be honored if you subscribe to his YouTube channel, because he has less than 2,000 subscribers, and that's not enough. And he's making sweet videos, and the link is right there in the description. YouTube.com/Bartberg, BARTBOURG. Please sub. All right. So if anytime you guys want to, you guys can ask questions about anything whenever you'd like. About Gutted, about bus converting. I've got a couple notes. These are things that I learned. I sort of have already alluded to them, but it was rewarding. You can kind of see the energy that I have. I've already alluded to these. It's tough. It takes 500 to 1,000 hours. The Schooly community takes care of each other. Yeah. Tool management is a huge weakness of mine, but that's not really that important. I'm going to fix that. I learned from my team that having great tools makes the job way easier, but that doesn't mean that you can buy great tools, and you can still do it without it. And quality matters, but functioning systems matter even more. These are some of my takeaways. So hit me with questions. And Skoolie Support, if you don't know, is basically my way of helping you with your bus conversion. If you would like to get one-on-one help with me and have me in your pocket at any time, text message, phone call, most hours of the day, you can join Skoolie Support Patreon. It's SkoolieSupport.com. We've got 3 members. I've got energy for 10. So, probably no more than that. And if you want to just support me, there's a support, there's a $5 a month thing there too. But don't feel obligated. I'm just making you aware of it. All right, so Chuck Cassidy asks, what is the hardest part about doing a bus conversion in 5 days? I think it's as simple as there's only so much time and energy in 5 days. And then there's just too many things that could slip through the cracks. And even though we did it in 5 days, I still think it's impossible. I don't know how it happened. I think it's impossible. I would give yourself a modest 10 days with 7 people to do a bus conversion. That's 700 hours. Give yourself 700 to 1,000 hours. It's going to take it. Done is better than perfect. All right, I had a question here. Bill Bletcher says, just chiming in to see if you would ever do this again. Charlie asked me early on, would I convert another bus? And my answer was, I don't think so, because it's so much work. And I was like, maybe I would convert other things like a cargo trailer or a truck camper, or, I want to work on things. I want to do things. This is amazing to me. A big bus is just so hard. But by the end of that bus conversion, I was just desperate to start another one. I'm talking myself off that cliff, but the answer is I would do it again. And I would do Gutted again, because that was fun. All right. Seeking Truth asks, what is the hardest part of converting? But I would like to tell you what is the hardest part of converting a Sunraider RV. Oh, I forgot. This is important. I want you guys to stop looking at my face and click on this link so you can see all the photos that our professional photographer, Kenneth Fryer, who did an amazing job, did. There's no spoilers in here. In fact, I don't even think there's any rig interiors, but you will get to see the rigs that we built. And I'd love for you to spend some time perusing that link. It's in the chat. Please click on it, stop looking at my face, and look at some photos. So a Sunraider RV is all fiberglass with very little plywood structure, and the cabinets that are installed in it are the structure. But if you can't replicate that in factory, you have to build basically your own floating frame inside the bus, or that's one way to do it, at least. It's probably the quickest way to do it. That is really hard. I do not desire to do that ever, but because there's just so much margin for error, and some things just came out of the factory right. But somebody in our midst, I believe, has gutted a Sunraider, and he's well equipped to fix it up and make it dope. So it can be done. But I think the hardest part, personally, the hardest part for me about seeing these other builds be built is that there's no steel structure for you to just abuse. You can take a bus and abuse it and put so much weight in it and build things out of metal on it and lift the roof and all those things. And then an RV, you don't have that leeway, which is good and bad. And I think taking an RV that is not rotten, that functions well, and making the cabinets look nice and upgrading the systems is a really good idea. But gut renovating it, I don't know. I don't know if it's a good idea. Jay was not the biggest slacker on the team. He was the first person to be building every morning. I don't think Jay had any extraneous conversations. It was just grind time. I've never been so inspired as when I saw Jay. Okay, I'm gonna try. Just give me a sec. I've never had this much chat, mostly thanks to Charlie and Bart. But Charlie wants to be a mod. I don't know how to do that, and I just did it. I'm a quick learner. Okay, Charlie's a mod. Bart should be a mod too. I've heard that Bart's a great mod. So I don't know what you guys get to do as mods, but you guys do your thing. Here we go. Hope Bus. I need someone to come to Niagara on the lake to help with our 45-foot MCI. Anyone want to come stay at our cottage by the lake? That's tempting. Cottage by the lake? That sounds really nice. I do go to the Adirondacks every summer. Maybe you can come to me. Maybe you can meet me in Montreal. Or maybe I can come to the cottage by the lake. That sounds nice. I kind of want to do that. Thank you, Bart, for the kind words. What is something you learned? This is from Alyssa. What is something you learned about yourself during your experience at Gutted? One thing I learned is that I already knew I was an amateur builder. I put that in my videos. I always tell people, like, hey, I'm sometimes just learning this. And, you know, I'm not a pro, and you need to do your own due diligence. But wow, did I really realize that once I worked with some pro builders, which I'm okay with. You know, I haven't done it a bunch of times, and I don't have the guts that these guys have to do the conversions that they do. So that's cool with me. But what I really did learn was that my tool management, now it was a little bit tough for me because I didn't really have my tools. I'm just basically stealing tools from everybody at any moment. But I need to at least know how to manage them. In my own life, I just kind of throw them on the ground and then I find them. But in a setting like that, it was just completely unacceptable. So most times I didn't have a pencil when I needed it. I didn't have a tape measure when I needed it. And I'm buying this tool pouch. I was inspired by Tasha from Lily the Bus, who is one of the nomads. It's a tool. You guys don't need to see it, but if I can find it in a second, I will. Canvas tool waist belt pouch. I'm going to buy this and I'm going to wear it from now on because I really need to know where my freaking tape measure is and my pencil at the very least, and a knife. Okay, the link's too long. Forget about it. Have a great dinner, Bart. Look forward to seeing you soon. So that's what I learned. Tool management, so hard. All right, Seeking Truth says, how about getting your own channel to do the Gutted series? I think a lot of people would love and support that. That's a really cool idea. It's one that we had on set. I am really interested in having a bus team. Bus team is our team. A bus team spin-off TV show. And we had this idea of basically doing like a, not a 5-day build, but getting together and doing like a, I don't know, 10-day build, and basically replicating that experience, low budget, in a field with the right weather. And Val gave me the great idea when I got home that we should go ahead and find somebody who is homeless but living in an RV, capable of driving it, and capable of managing the systems in a Schooly, and just doing that for free for them. And I thought that was a fantastic idea. And there's a couple of people who make YouTube videos who basically just go out and help and enrich and make the days better of people who are homeless. So we could collaborate with one of them, and that would be cool. I think if we could just all get together for a month and make that happen, that'd be amazing. So if you guys like that, hit the like button or say so. All right. Chuck Cassidy is giving me praise, which is always nice, but not necessary. All right, guys. I am only going today until I run out of questions, because I have not really caught up on sleep and energy. But tonight's the night. Tonight's the night I'm going to sleep for like 9 hours. So at any time, hit me with a question. Bart's back. Thanks for coming back, Bart. Did you say you're with your family? Did I see that right? Oh, cool. You're with your family. I don't actually know where does your family live, Bart? I don't think I figured that out. Hello, Jorge from Argentina, and thank you, David, for liking that idea. I think that the bus team spinoff would be awesome. Did you guys see the link that I sent to the chat with the videos? I'm doing it again, or not the videos, the photos. You guys have got to see the photos from this event so you can see what I'm talking about. Stop looking at my face. It's not interesting. And check out these photos. Wow. All right, this is coming back in the chat. Lots of praise for Jay. Oh, yeah. All right, guys. Well, that might be it, unless you have any questions for me. Oh, Bart just binged my build. I really am super proud of the second bus conversion that I did. It was way tighter than the first. I learned so much from it. Welcome, Jeremy. Welcome, Katie. Katie's here from Katie and Sam's bus build. Sam. All right, yeah, Sam's in class. I guess it's 5. It's almost 6 on the West Coast. So I'm really proud of Katie and Sam's bus. It turned out a lot tighter than the first one. It was a lot easier because Sam, who was working from home, a very important job, basically at any time I could just hit him up and be like, hey, I need your help with a problem, to do something, holding something. And that made it real. That was just it's so much easier to work when you had somebody to tackle problems with you. And so that's what Gutted was like for me too. So, but thank you. I'm proud of this. I'm proud of both of the buses that I built. I just think that I could get way better. Right on. So Charlie asked, what was it like doing a short bus versus a big boy? Well, everything that goes into a big boy goes into a short bus. So you have to do it. You have to do every single thing. Install the batteries, install the solar panels, mount a gray water tank, find space for a freshwater tank. In a big bus, you don't have to optimize things because you have so much space. If you look at my first bus conversion, which I'm sitting in, there's space for everything, which is why our couch doesn't need to like fold out and flip down and do all kinds of fancy things. And our dinettes can just be dinettes. And so in some regards, building in a big boy is easier. However, the materials, dude, they kind of build up. Like having to buy twice as many sheets of plywood is tough. Twice as much spray foam is tough. And I really think that the right bus for almost every person is under 35 feet. I think that families of 2 to 4 can probably fit into 35 feet. I think if you have a big family, you should get the 40 footers. I think if you're a couple, you should go 30 or below. Or if you really are attached to the rear engine, get the shortest rear engine you can find, which is 33 feet probably. So I really like doing a short bus. I probably would choose short bus. I probably would still make my system simple because I like simple things. And we did some complicated things. And Devin did the most complicated thing I've ever seen in a bus, in the gutted bus. But they're both tough. There's no freebies out here. Seeking Truth is mentioning that the photos are awesome. The photos were awesome. The photographer was so cool. We were actually on the same plane back home. And you should come to Gutted next year. I really think it's worth the trip. I feel like the ticket costs were prohibitive this year. I'd love it. I'd love for it to be like, if they can find a medium, like something between like free camping and a campground and then ticket sales, it would be cool, because it would be so cool for it to be either free camping or free entry. I just think would be awesome. I'm going to be there next year, no matter what, because that was so cool. And there's a lot of jobs to do for somebody like me, and I'm into it. Goodbye, David. Have a great date. Charlie says 35 feet is plenty. Going on a bear hunt has 3 people in a 30-foot Gilligan Phantom transit bus. I love their bus, and so I'm going to try and find their Instagram. I looked for a 30-foot Gilligan Phantom transit bus for Katie and Sam's build. It wasn't quite perfect for them. Uh-oh, that's not the right going on a bear hunt. Going on a bear hunt family. Uh-oh, clicked on the wrong thing. Check out this 30-foot Gilligan Phantom, guys. It's just super cool. Boom. So Charlie says, will you be back at Gutted next year? Yes. I asked Wes if I could be the medic, because I have my EMT. Most of you know I used to be a firefighter. I want to clean the set because I want something mindless to do when I'm bored. And I'd like to be kind of like an audience advocate of some sort. I'd like to just be able to say, like, to production, like, hey, here's a piece of the story that you need, that the audience is going to want to see. Because I'm really, as a YouTuber, I'm really into storytelling, and I'm really into getting the story out. And so I had a tough time not like building and not trying to affect that. But it was amazing to be able to like grab a videographer and say, like, hey, I'm about to do something, or I thought of something silly, like, come film me. And they were just like, yes, that's what I'm here for. Let's go. And they really appreciated it. So I'm coming back to Gutted next year. I think it's going to be probably near Kansas City again next year. That would be my best get, because there's so many people on the team there who are in Kansas City. Jeremy asks, would you be willing to do a video on fire safety? And have you put together a first aid kit for the bus that you would like to share the details of? I don't think I'll do a video on fire safety. I'm at the point in my YouTube career where I need to do things that a large audience are interested in. I can tell you right now, though, that execute the most common sense things that you can. You need a smoke detector. Maybe you need 2 smoke detectors. If you have any propane or any interior fireplace, you need a carbon monoxide detector. Those go bad sometimes. Get 2 carbon monoxide detector. You need a fire extinguisher at the front of your bus. You need preferably a fire extinguisher at the rear of your bus. Make sure that those are not trash. As long as they have enough pressure and they're in the green line, you don't really have to get them inspected. Just make sure that they work. You need at least 3 exits. The front door is one. You need one by your bed, whether that's a window that you can fit through, an emergency exit, or a roof hatch. At least, and if you've got a short bus, 2 exits is fine, but just have and know of 2 or 3 ways to get out. that's most of it for me. You could get some of those fire suppressant balls that will explode if they um, sense a fire, and you could put it in your electrical cabinet, and that would be smart. And I think that one of the most important things when it comes to fire safety for building is you need really tight, well-made connections for all of your electrical components. And for me, that means marine grade wire, crimpers, heat shrink, and anything that you would see in a residential application is not applicable, in my opinion, because copper wires can break when they're hard and they can come loose. And some people are afraid of propane, and in my opinion, having less accelerants in your bus is great. So I go all electric, and that's all of my fire safety thoughts. And just get a great first aid kit. I have I'm going to show you my first aid kit. It's not the best first aid kit, but it's cool. So this is like a retired, I don't know if it's like Cold War era. It expired in 1982. But this was a military general purpose first aid kit. And some of the things in here I got rid of because they are not useful for me. And I've added my own. But, I've got gauze and Band-Aids and wraps and kind of all the things that you need for basic first aid. These safety blankets to keep you warm. Eye patch kit. There's saline in here. I don't know. You could go as far as you want to go, but just buy like a hiking or backpacking first aid kit. And really just know, I should have a tourniquet in here. I don't. I should buy a tourniquet. But just know and understand how to use a tourniquet and how to provide direct pressure to a wound so that you can stop bleeding. And that's probably deeper than I want to go on that topic. I was the only person to cut myself, as far as I know, and gutted. I got this nice, you can't see it anymore, but I got this nice slash, and I took a bath, so it's gone. But I had to see the medic. All right, let me check up on the chat real quick. Bart is mentioning that you can sub to the newsletter at guttedevent.com to see when and where the next events will happen. Totally. Hopa says, thanks for helping others. Have a great evening, Hopa, although I probably missed you. Kelson J, welcome. We have been cheesing on you guys all night because you're freaking awesome. Jeff, welcome, Jeff, from 280Z Sun. Thank you. Jeff, have you watched season 1 of Gutted? You would love it. You should watch it. Southern Rebel sent me a message on IG. I will check that out. Kelson J says, I will watch Justin open a first aid kit all day long. So Val, we were practically just started dating, and Val had like a vintage resale store that she loved to pop into. And we went there together, and she knew I wanted to become a firefighter. And I think she saw me eyeing that kit, and she was just like, you have to have that. And I'm a person who, like, I don't like being given gifts. I don't like taking things home. I get attached to them forever. If I get something, you can see me like wearing t-shirts that are just beyond worn out, and I don't want to throw them away. So I'm very leery of taking things into my life. But that first aid kit is freaking sweet. And I saw, if anybody knows Casey Neistat, I saw his brother Van Neistat, who makes really amazing videos, with the same first aid kit. I was like, oh man. And everything he has is cool. So anyways. So Seeking Truth mentions that they are afraid of propane and gas and want to go electric or solar, which reminds me that if you are going to be doing an incredible amount of heating, like if you're going to be in super cold weather, generally you're not going to have the solar to pull off the all-electric Schooly system that I'm all about, because you're going to have too much cloud coverage, you're going to have not enough sunlight, and the diesel heater will handle all of your heat needs, I truly believe, or at least two, but you can't, maybe you can't heat water, and maybe you can't cook, and you might want to have propane. So just know that if you are really going to be doing the cold weather thing, you need 2 heat sources, whether that's diesel and fire, or firewood, or diesel and propane, or propane and firewood. So just something to know. The all-electric Schooly, I think, is super applicable for a 3-season rig, but not like really cold winter. Charlie asks, what was an unexpected build skill you learned during gutted? I think the build skills that I picked up are really all about tools. I used Charlie's bandsaw to cut metal. That made such a clean, quiet, easy cut. I used Charlie's track saw, and that is my new favorite tool. I'm going to buy that one. I used a table saw with a feeder table, and that just made my life so much easier. But I don't think I'm going to buy a lot of these things because I want to be lean with the tools, and I want to be able to build in a way that others can build without spending much money. And I saw Ben do a lot of things that like countersinking screw holes a lot. Just taking a lot of care. I saw people taking a lot of care in all the work that they did. Watching Ben work, it was almost like we weren't even doing a 5-day build off, which is not to say that he wasn't working fast or got a crap ton done, but he was doing all kinds of things that I would think like maybe just skip that. So those are some unexpected. I'm not sure those are build skills, but those are things that I observed in others that I admire and will be replicating hopefully in my own work next. Seeking Truth says, I would love for someone to install solar in my RV. I am in Georgia. I am actually installing a solar system next weekend for a bus family. They set off on the road with an off-grid electric system, but no solar power, thinking that they were going to be cool with campgrounds and generators. And it turns out that they want to spend much more time boondocking. So we're going to put 6 405-watt Jinko solar panels on their roof. We're going to put a charge controller in their bus, and all of the appropriate wires and roof gland and all that. So I don't know how long that's going to take, and I know what this family's budget is, and I'm hoping it's cost appropriate, and I'm not charging that much. However, I'm just saying this because in 2 weeks after I do that, if you have a similar project and you're in Georgia and you want to come to me and it's in November, I might totally be down to do that, and might be beneficial for both of us because I'm still learning. So track saw life. Jay, yeah, Jay already bought a track saw. Jay is such a go-getter. So of course Jay already bought a track saw. He was in love with that track saw too. Ben is a pilot drilling master. Ben only does things the right way. So true. Kelsey asks, has my despise for paint lessened? I feel like my despise for paint lessened. I do. Because I liked a lot of the colors that each of the rigs in each of the teams put into their builds. But at the last second, I covered a bit of paint that slightly offended me with a nice fresh piece of plywood, and that sort of reinforced my plywood thing. So I don't know. It's an ongoing battle. I don't know. I'm definitely not on the side of paint yet, but I appreciate color, and I think there's some painting to be done in my home, and I might do it. I might do it myself because I do I sort of enjoyed painting the gutted bus. I kind of like that somehow. I don't know how that happened. Kels with the tough questions. So, all right. So Seeking Truth, I will not be coming to Georgia, but I'm in Charleston, South Carolina. So if you want to come to me, I can help you out. Probably. So Going on a Bear Hunt asks, can we message you privately about some help on the Phantom? Yes, you can message me privately. The best way to reach me is gilliganphantom@gmail.com. Instagram is a little bit tougher. You're not going to get an immediate response from me, probably. but unless I have an easy solution to your problem. Now, something you should know that is that your Gilligan Phantom transit bus has a bunch of different stuff than my Gilligan Phantom school bus. So if it's with your bus specifically, I might not be able to help you, but I will always try. So send me an email at gilliganphantom@gmail.com. Thank you guys so much for the questions and for hanging out. I really am still buzzing from Gutted because it was so much fun. And Charlie just keeps hitting me with the questions, which I freaking love. I mean, I love hearing myself talk. So let's go. So Charlie asked, if you could do it all again on any bus platform you wanted, what is your favorite school bus platform? School bus. Well, I would have a tough time giving up the rear engine because I think for full-time travel, especially for like a family who wants to be like relaxed up in the front of their bus and hear each other and stuff, I just think it's the best. And I love being able to see out that front window, but I would go sub 35 feet. And if I couldn't find a rear engine sub 35 feet, I would get a dog nose. And Charlie's bus is freaking sweet. Having a 12-inch roof raise is totally game changing without adding any complication besides the work involved. So I would have a tough time not wanting to do a roof raise now that I've seen Charlie's bus. Let me chuck Chuck Cassidy's Instagram in here so you can see his bus. Hopefully there's a fresh photo of it. If not, you'll be able to see it highlighted and gutted because I do my interview in front of his bus because I didn't have my bus there. Why can't I find... Let me try this. I'm going to show you guys a bus in a second that I'm super crushing on. It's by, so my, like a consulting client, I guess, before I started Skoolie Support, hit me up and he said I was interested in this bus. It had a T444E. It had an AT545 transmission. All right, hopefully there's a fresh, yeah, okay, you can see a cool photo. I don't know. There's a bunch of cool buses in Charlie's Instagram, but that's in the chat right now. Okay, thanks. Okay, I'm just gonna ask Bart and Charlie to get links because you guys can put links. Now I get the mod thing. Jeez, that's awesome. Okay, so let me find Trent's bus because I told him, and he wanted to tow a vehicle. And I said, I don't think, and he wanted a Baja rig. I was like, I don't think that bus is good enough for you. I think you should keep looking for something tougher. And he found, and I'm going to link to a photo of it, I think maybe my favorite new bus. Now that I've ridden around in a dog nose a little bit more. I think it's like a 9-window. It's hard to tell. But this bus was a California Wildland crew carrier after it was a school bus, and they did a bang up paint job on it. And here it is in the chat. And there, you guys got to check out that bus. Oh, it's so good. And it's got like a little bit of a roof raise of some sort and a beefed up suspension, and it's low mileage and it's all mechanical. I forget the engine. I think it's DT466. That's the bus. I haven't gotten jealous of somebody's bus, but when he found that, I was like, you need to buy that right now. And I think he paid maybe $11,000 for it or $10,000. It had brand new tires. We talked about it. I was like, that is a steal. You need to get that bus. Yeah. So yeah, I think Charlie, I think he might have that, that combo. I forget, but that bus might be I would definitely do that as a platform. Regardless says, should we do a bus team reunion in January? Yeah, we should. Does anybody know what the deal is with Schooly Palooza? I've never been. I've heard it's a lot of fun. I Googled it and I didn't see anything about it. And I don't even know how to find out where and when Schooly Palooza is. So if anybody knows, that'd be cool. Redneck Tech says, hey there, how is the Schooly Yoda doing? I would imagine maybe you're talking about River. She's sleeping. She's good. Unless I'm the Schooly Yoda. I think I'd be more of a Schooly Anakin Skywalker, though. Before he goes to the dark side. Between when he's on the border of the dark side, that would be me. Yeah, like always just fighting the battle, staying in the good, you know? So Charlie says Arizona in January for Schooly Palooza. I heard that you are talking about me. I think that I'm going to be the Anakin Skywalker. And but so I made an Instagram story of River saying funny words or something, and I just put Baby Yoda with her. So I don't know if maybe you saw that. I thought that you saw that. Charlie says the DT466/MT643 Allison transmission is what he learned to drive on and was his route bus growing up. Yes. So Charlie, all right. We need to talk about Chuck Cassidy, and we will more in the future. But if you guys are spending 45 minutes watching my Skoolie Support, you were doing yourself a huge disservice by not subscribing to his channel, watching all of his videos, and especially watching his live streams and asking him questions, because Charlie knows the answer to all kinds of questions and is extremely well qualified to answer them. I'm like a tiny bit qualified to answer them, but Charlie is Bus God. And he does weekly live streams, and he premieres his videos, and he just gives you all the details you would need to give. I just skip things because I don't want to spend too much time on them. But of course Bart got the YouTube channel already. I should ask Bart for Chuck Cassidy's YouTube channel. But okay, we need to talk about Chuck Cassidy. You guys need to go watch his live streams. This is not me promoting him. He doesn't need that at all. This is me telling you that you need to go extract value from this man, as I have, because he just knows so well the answers to all your questions. However, I will tell you that if you copy everything that Charlie does, you will make the best bus. But you might not make the cheapest bus, and you might not make the perfect bus for you. And the perfect bus for you might be, you know, school bus windows, travel with the weather, you know, let them leak a tiny bit when they need to. Don't dump your life savings into them, which is not a knock against him. He's a pro builder, and he knows how to adapt that to anybody as well. I'm just pointing out that you can't take anybody's experience and apply it explicitly to your own path. Like you need to create your own path out of the experience of others. So, or have no expectations. Like, I don't care how much this is going to cost, or I don't care if I'm going to be hot, or I don't care if I'm going to be cold. I'm just going to do it the way that he did it. That's fine too, but just have no expectations. Hopefully that makes sense. I really care about these things. All right, so Bart is the new mod. Thanks Bart for being here. I really appreciate you. If you didn't already subscribe to Bart, can you please put your channel in the description again? Because now we have 30 people instead of 15. Thank you guys for being here. You guys have got to subscribe to Bart's channel. If we can get Bart to 2,000 subscribers by the end of the night, I will be delighted. I'll be so happy about that. Charlie needs to do a budget build guide. I really want to do a budget build. I want to do a budget build. Like, I want to do a salvage build. Maybe this is what we could do together as the bus team. Like, maybe we can do a $20,000 build, 30, 15, where we get, you know, let's go to an RV scrapyard. Let's get some stuff, you know, let's get some tanks. Let's make them work. Let's do this without throwing money at problems. I throw money at problems because I don't have time sometimes, and it's easier to throw money at problems than it is to go pick through an RV scrapyard or drive 45 minutes away and maybe come home empty-handed. I don't have time for that sometimes, but I've just mad respect for people who do that, because reusing materials and reusing things that are completely functioning is like in my opinion, how we get through the next 1,000 years as a society. If we keep making things and chucking them in the landfill, it's not going to be fun. All right, I'm glad we got an appropriate level of love for Charlie in the chat. He's just the best, most qualified, at least who is prepared to talk to you, because Ben might be better. I'm just putting it out there. All right, everybody sub to Bart's channel. How many subscribers does Bart have now? Not enough. Not enough. And by the way, Bart streamed live from Gutted, so you guys should watch that as well. Where is there an RV scrapyard? There's probably RV scrapyards all over Georgia, seeking truth. I know there's one in South Carolina. So they're out there. Just search for RV parts, used RV parts lot. Hold on. I'm going to search for it. I'm going to search for South Carolina just because I know there is one. Salvage yards, RV salvage yards in South Carolina. Look at that. There's one in Lawrence, South Carolina. Lawrence Auto Salvage in Lawrence, South Carolina. And that might be the only one. I bet you there's one in Georgia. Go hit it up. All right. All right, guys, we are coming up on an hour, and I would love a glass of water and to brush my teeth. But if you need anything from me, I'm here for another 30 seconds. Otherwise, I'm going to say goodnight. Oh, Regretless is just being so sweet to me. My whole team is so sweet to me. And you guys can read Regret. I'm like blushing thinking I can't read what Regretless put in there. It's just too wonderful and too kind. But thank you. And it was really awesome to build with you, all of you guys. And it's a freaking honor. I want to do it again. It was a huge honor. All right, guys. Much love to you all. SchoollySupport.com if you want help. You can have me in your back pocket at all times if you need it. Sleep well, and I will see you this time next week, 8:30 EST Wednesday. And if you get bored, hey, Bart, what time is Charlie's live stream in EST, please? Can I really do that? That's so obnoxious to just be like, hey, Bart. You guys have to watch Charlie's live stream and ask him all the questions that you are unsure if I know the answer to, because he's probably got them. He's probably got the answer. All right, so Charlie goes live 8 p.m. EST. No, 6 p.m. MST tomorrow. All right, so Charlie's live on Thursdays. It used to be Sundays. Now he's live on Thursdays. So join Charlie tomorrow for help with your bus build. There's going to be all kinds of new people that you will meet in that chat. And I promise you, you will return every week. Have a great night, guys. Love you all. Sleep well. And I'll see you next week. Same time.